Time now for the second of our great war stories, and tonight we look at what happened not through the eyes of a soldier but through those of a war nurse, Lottie Legale. The nurses got to share all the horrors of soldiering, but Lottie was to suffer a kind of cruelty that only a sister could know.
Lottie Legale was among a group of nurses to leave New Zealand in July 1915. She wanted to be near her beloved brother, Leddy, who was at Gallipoli. In her letter, she can barely contain her excitement as she prepares to leave on New Zealand's hospital ship, the Maheno.
Very soon we will be out of New Zealand, and Leddy, I am on the staff of the ship. 10 nurses. I am one of the 10. The ship is beautiful.
There had been a major battle at home to get New Zealand nurses sent overseas. Hester McLean was the pioneer. She battled hard to set up the New Zealand Army Nursing Service with initial opposition from the Minister of Defence, James Allen.
Until the mother country asks us to provide nurses, it would be almost a presumption to send them. It would look like interfering with the imperial arrangements.
Pressure on the government from medics and Lord Liverpool, the governor, won the day, and in April 1915, 50 nurses chosen by Hester McLean were on their way to Egypt. Although the same rank as the doctors, the nurses were sent second class. Lottie left 3 months later.
I'm working on the nurse Lottie.
Weta Workshop's creative director Sir Richard Taylor is masterminding the finishing touches to a gigantic Gallipoli exhibition for Te Papa.
She's been in our workshop now for 8 months, and you know, from the very earliest head casting of the actor through to every single hair individually punched in one at a time, taking months and months to do. And the level of focus and dedication from the team that have built just one of these characters has been Herculean in its own right.
Lottie spent 4 months on the Maheno tending to the sick and wounded, waiting for word from her brother.
The Maheno, a ship of mercy paid for by the people of New Zealand, and we've put Lottie in here in her little room.
By now, her concern for her brother Leddy is growing.
We have never heard from you yet. Goodbye now, Leddy. Love from Lottie.
She had a great love of her brother Letty and travelled across the world to try and find him, only to discover through the returning of her letters that Letty has been killed.
Like everyone who lost loved ones in war, Lottie is grief-stricken when her letters are returned to her.
Lottie in this moment represents so many women that lost loved ones in the war and so many nurses that suffered alongside the soldiers. The soldiers may be the injured, but the hearts were broken amongst the nurses that did such incredible work.
A devastated Lottie Legale was to return to New Zealand. She worked at Auckland Hospital. Lottie married and had 2 children. She died in 1956.